And I don't know if you saw this. I saw this just on YouTube, and it's so funny. But anyway, I go on the trending YouTube section, and like number one or number two, it's Hillary Clinton. She goes on the Jimmy Fallon show. And Jimmy Fallon's okay. He's not the worst, certainly, that he has on Hillary Clinton. And of course, it is the fawning. It is, wow, she's such a hero. She's such a trooper. They have on in this special event, because Hillary Clinton was there, they have the female writers of Jimmy Fallon come on the show. And where normally Jimmy Fallon does his thank you notes every Friday, very dramatically, he writes down his thank you notes. It's a funny little joke. Well, today, or last night, the female writers got their chance, and they got to sit in the big seat, and they got to write their thank you notes, thanking Hillary Clinton for being such a hero, such a role model for women. And, I watch this kind of thing. This is the kind of thing it's like Chinese water torture, where people might be confused why this sort of thing would make you scream, why it would make you mad. But just every day, it's just drip, drip, drip. Every day, whether you're watching Modern Family or watching the commercial, or you're watching commercials for TV, or it's the Netflix show, it's Dear White People, or it's the BuzzFeed video, New Year's resolutions for white people. And then it's Hillary Clinton on The Tonight Show. And it wasn't enough that we had on Hillary Clinton, and we thank her for everything, because she's such a hero, right? She's such a tireless crusader for good things. No, they had to have the female writers come out. And, not for nothing, unpopular opinion alert, women are not funny. Sorry to say, we couldn't say on the show yesterday that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, but women are not funny. They're just not. So that's my number one beef, is they have on, that you even have female writers. Every time you have female writers on a show, it makes it worse, okay? With the exception of maybe Tina Fey, with the exception of, the one from SNL, the female writers make it worse. So they bring out the female writers, and they're doing their little, and it's so sad. They're not good. They're not really funny. It's all very...
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Hillary, for all the work you've done for public health care. Ever since the election, I've really depended on my government-subsidized anti-anxiety medication.
And I would bet like 10 to 1, I would bet $500 that all these women that are going up there and their thank you notes are like, thank you for being the Hillary Clinton of politics. Oh, wow, that's really, what a turn of phrase. I would bet 10 to 1 that most of these women that are coming out on The Tonight Show that are thanking Hillary Clinton, and they're crying, oh my God, they didn't vote. They don't care. You think all these women, you think they were rushing to the polling places? And if you could go a step further, do you think they were campaigning? And then to top it all off, if that wasn't enough, if it wasn't enough that we have this female writer thing and, wow, we're really lifting up the women, that's so great, whatever. If that wasn't enough, then, of course, we get Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus comes on the show. Now she's kind of like political. She campaigned for Hillary Clinton, and she comes on the show, and she's writing, and she's crying, and then she gives Hillary Clinton a big hug. And I just don't understand. To arrive at my point, I don't understand how a normie, how a regular person, a decent, hardworking person who is maybe left-leaning, who maybe doesn't believe in the conspiracies, who maybe doesn't believe that there is this rootless internationalist conspiracy at the top, I don't understand. You get home from work, you have your dinner, you turn on the television, you watch the evening news, and then this comes on. And then this comes on. It's Jimmy Fallon with politicized jokes because he has to, because the mainstream media has forced his hand. You're not allowed to not be political. And then they have on Hillary Clinton. She's still relevant after she was crippled in that election. Mitt Romney, John McCain, John Kerry, they went away afterwards. But she is still around. She's still around selling a book and doing political speeches and everything else. And now she arrives. And if that's not enough, now Jimmy Fallon gets out of the chair for the women. Oh, women take the... I got to get out of here with the women. It's their turn. Now the female writers are there, and they're crying. And, they don't even vote, but they're crying. And then Miley Cyrus, like patient zero of Monarch Mind Control, gets up there with this weird haircut with the tattoos. She's in this weird, postmodern outfit, crying. And, suddenly she's this patriot. Suddenly she's a political pundit. She's a political influencer. That's what they call it now. And she's crying and she's writing a little note, and I just want to give you a hug. And then you have Jimmy Fallon sitting impotently like a cuck in a certain adult film, sitting there watching this liberal hell unfold where Hillary Clinton, the corrupt, evil person who conspired to kill Americans, to hide things from Americans, private position, public position, giving speeches to Goldman Sachs, 4 Americans in Benghazi. Whoops, oh well, billions of dollars at the State Department missing. Oh well. Bombing Yemen, bombing Pakistan, intimidating sexually abused people by Bill Clinton. And she's hugging Miley Cyrus, the degenerate, promiscuous propagandist of pot culture, of sexual hedonism, degeneracy on The Tonight Show. And oh, but to the thunderous applause by the masses. And you're sitting there watching on your television. You can't afford your car payment. You can't afford your mortgage. Your kids are degenerates. They're drinking. Their best friend just died at a frat party. And you're watching this on television. Nobody sees anything wrong with this picture. This is okay. This is just normal now. On what planet? On what planet is this progress? On what planet is this mainstream, moderate,